Well, for the first time on this show, we're actually going to give some credit to the Los Angeles Clippers. They did something that I did not think was possible.
They made the playoffs?
No, yeah, well, that too.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't do that before. But they came back from 27 points to beat the Memphis Grizzlies in Game 1.
What?
I know. I can't comprehend it either.
I thought Memphis won yesterday.
I thought they did too.
Oh, man.
I looked at the score. It was like 95-71. I was like, yes, Memphis. First of all, I picked Memphis to win the series going in. So that's why I was rooting for them because I had them winning it. And they were up 95-71 with 8 minutes to go. So, that's it. It's over. Then all of a sudden, they don't score again. They scored like 3 points in 8 minutes, and the Clippers come back and they score 28 points. They go on a 28-3 run to end the game.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Clipper fans, enjoy, celebrate. You guys deserve it. I mean, your team didn't quit, and you guys.
And they had every reason to. They had
Yeah.
every reason to quit. I mean, I had the Clippers winning in 6. I think that the Clippers have enough offensive firepower to compete with Memphis. I think if Memphis would have gone against a series with, say, the Lakers kind of struggle putting points on the board, so they'd have a harder time against Memphis. But yeah, going into the half, I thought this game was done. They were down 30. I thought the dagger was set a long time ago, and we see Reggie Evans make a couple of Reggie Evans, the guy that
flops,
the guy that touched Chris Kaman in the naughty parts a couple years ago. That guy,
the dirtiest guy in the NBA.
Actually has himself quite a fourth quarter and leads the Clippers to a gritty come-from-behind win. A guy by the name of Nick Young, who played with the Washington Wizards when they had JaVale McGee. And was arguably
who knew?
And was arguably considered to be the worst and probably the most frustrating team to watch on television. Guns, which is something that he's done his entire career, shot threes and they were going in.
Yeah.
And the Clippers just, I'm still speechless. I don't know what to expect from Game 2. Yeah,
I don't know. Chris Paul was amazing in that fourth quarter, though. I mean, you could see the command he had of that team. He played. You would have thought that when down 27, they would have benched him and said, "All right, that's it, we lost." But he wanted to play, and he fought, and the team rallied around Chris Paul, and they came back. And then Blake Griffin hit clutch free throws. Who knew he could hit clutch free throws?
Wow.
I mean, come on, really? But, I mean, the Clippers, they did what they had to do. They stole Game 1. And now, as I said before, I picked Memphis to win the series. Now I'm questioning whether or not they can even come back from this deficit. Because, I mean, this defeat was horrible.
Yeah, this is one of those defeats that you don't come back from. Yeah. But, to Memphis's defense, it happened fairly early into the series. It's only the first game.
Yeah, but they lost at home, though, so it's a lot.
Yeah. They can hang their hat on, if there's anything to hang their hat on, it's that, it's only a game. It's the first game of this series. There's always, room for improvement. Things aren't set in stone yet. And maybe they still won in LA. But for now, just a run like this, kind of amazing to see. Yeah. Amazing to see.
Another cool fact is that Chris Paul's not 4-1 in Game 1s that he's played in. So there you go. You guys, the Clippers got Chris Paul, and you guys have one of the most amazing comebacks ever in NBA history.
And you guys have won your first playoff game since 2006.
Yeah.
That was 7
so now
years ago?
Yeah, so now there's a good chance they might make it out to the second round, which I didn't have them making. But, I mean, this is a team that keeps fighting. So they earned my respect last night, though. I could say that. I didn't think they had it in them to make it this far. But, I mean, they showed me something that I didn't think they had. I mean, Kenyon Martin played some great defense on Rudy Gay on the last possession. So, but the only negative thing I guess you could kind of say about the Clippers is that Crown Butler broke his hand, so he's going to be out for possibly the rest of the playoffs.
Which isn't that bad of a loss in my opinion, because he was shooting 40% from the field and taking 8 shots a game, which isn't a great contribution.
No, and then he's the only guy in the NBA that passes up wide open threes for contested twos. So
that's the guy.
That's not always necessarily a good thing to pass up open shots.
I thought you were talking about Kobe.
No,
not that guy, right?
No,
he passes up open twos and then takes open twos.
No, he shoots contested 3-pointers with 4 guys on them. But we're talking about the Clippers, giving the Clippers some love on this show.
Wow, that's a first.
Yeah, but I mean, we can't say nothing negative about the Clippers today. They played a great. They did not play a great game. They played a great fourth quarter. I mean, Twitter literally almost exploded because of this comeback. The Clippers are actually trending on Twitter, which I don't think has ever happened besides the Blake Griffin dunk. But I mean, they were just trending. It was unbelievable. Nobody thought they were going to come back after being down 27.
We might not be able to talk bad about the Clippers, but there's one team we could talk bad about, and that's the Memphis Grizzlies. Yes. I mean, what happened? They were shooting. I think part of it was they were shooting at over 60% in the first quarter, and they were like 10 for 12 from 3 at a point. Those are just numbers that you can't replicate throughout the entirety of a game. And so I guess the numbers caught up to them,
But I mean, it was. I still can't believe they only scored 3 points in 8 minutes.
There's no excuse for that, especially in the playoffs in front of your home crowd. Yeah. I mean, that stadium was silent, and
I mean, even the announcers on TV didn't know what was going on.
Exactly.
They're like, "What has just happened?"
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's not like they missed some easy layups too, which is just weird. Like, it's all of a sudden like the bottom fell out of Memphis, and the Clippers took advantage and took it to them.
They were shooting like 45% from the restricted area, from either the restricted area or under in that game. And that's very hard to do because you're only like a couple feet from the basket, right? 40% is really bad. So, they miss a lot of open shots. But, if you're Memphis, you gave the Clippers a good game for half of the game. So
then you let it go.
But, yeah, if you can, I guess, have that same kind of success that you had in the first half of game 1 throughout the series, and you're in good shape.
But another question that comes from the series though is that whether or not the Grizzlies are better with or without Rudy Gay. Because last year there was a team based on Zebo and the offense run through him, and now that Rudy Gay's back, you almost kind of see that they don't really play that well with each other. And you kind of saw in the fourth quarter that one of them had to step up and make a basket to stop that run from the Clippers, and neither one of them did. So it begs the question whether or not this team is actually better with both of them on the court at the same time. And if they are, Lionel Hollins has to find a way to get these two going at the same time for them to even have a shot now to come back from the series.
And that's kind of been the onus on Memphis for quite a while now, their chemistry issues. They've had people leave because of injury. This is a team that struggled with O.J. Mayo, whether he's starting or not. Zach Randolph came off of the bench for a while. Rudy Gay's been in and out of the lineup. So yeah, this is a team very much still trying to find its identity, not just this season, but over the scope of 2 or 3 seasons. And it's going to be very interesting to see what becomes of who's the man on this team and who takes shots, down the stretch.
Yeah.
And the Clippers really just stole this one, and Memphis, I think, just as much just let this one slip. And you can only hope that it doesn't come back to bite them later.
Yeah. Because, you can't just call it. It's easy to call it the Memphis collapse, but you got to give the Clippers credit, though. I mean, but the thing that showed me that they fought was that Chris Paul was still on the court down 27. So your best player is still on the court, you're still fighting.
Yeah, and he asked Vinny Del Negro. Vinny Del Negro was going to take him out at the end of the third quarter. And he told him the game wasn't over. He wanted a shot at it.
So it goes a little bit is on the Grizzlies for letting it slip away, but then you got to give credit for the Clippers for staying with it and fighting. That's what you do in basketball. I mean, in sports, you never quit until the final buzzer, and that's why you can't script sports. That's why I love sports. You can't script it any better than that. Coming down 27 in the fourth quarter with 8 minutes to go, and you're the Los Angeles Clippers. Like, really? Come on.
Yeah, they say basketball is a game of runs, and the Clippers went on a super run.
I don't even see them run 20-3.
That's like a whole game there. Seriously,
that's like a quarter.
Yeah,
they went on a quarter run.
The quarter run.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah.
Going forward.
So hats off to the Clippers and your fans.
Yeah. I don't have a hat.